Alright, hello guys. Welcome to one of my first videos. I'm hoping to make a lot more of these, but I'm going to start off with something I'm really passionate about, which is music. And to be totally honest with you, I never learned any instruments. I don't know how to read sheet music. I don't know any music theory, or maybe a little bit, but I kind of just make things up, and it seems to be working out for me. So, in this video, I'm going to show you how I made my most recent release, which is called Appetite. If you want to give it a listen, the link's in the description. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so one of the first things that I came up with for this song was the guitar melody. And I can show that to you right now. I'll just solo it right here. And it's very simple, actually. All of these are open strings. It's just me hitting the first and fifth string repeatedly. And the only ones that aren't open are these three, or these two. Yeah. And it pretty much sustains the entire song. Although at some points, it is definitely drowned out by other things. So naturally, the next thing I needed was a vocal melody. And so I'm not too sure how I came about this one specifically, but here it is.
You're welcome, another bite, but you lost your appetite.
Alright, so now we're gonna get into some of the really exciting stuff, which is all the vocal harmonies. So the first chorus is actually just the exact same vocal melody. All I did was sing it an octave higher, and obviously I have all my harmony tracks. So let's start with the lead vocal.
Had hopes after just 1 week.
This is the same melody, just pitched down to where it regularly is.
Had hopes after.
This is almost a one-note harmony sang in falsetto with a lot of effects on it. And I believe this is the exact same melody as the falsetto, just pitched down to more comfortable range and with some effects that push it more into the background. So that's it for the singing, but I do have a bit of a counter melody, I guess you could call it, or a vocal chop. So when I was making this, I constructed the entire chorus, and it just felt really empty in the background, and I wanted to offset it with something. And what I found myself naturally just singing while listening to it was this, show me how to love, show me how to love. I also used this vocal chop at the very beginning of the song, just to give a bit more atmosphere to the background. And I think what's nice about it, at least in my mind, is it prefaces the listener's ear to this show me how to love melody. You can kind of hear it coming through the cracks during the chorus. Other than that, we can take a look at some of the drums here. So this is what they sound like when they first start. All you have is this kick, which as you can see, kind of has a bit of groove to it, but other than just these little extra bits, it's pretty basic. Other than that, I have a tambourine that hits every so often, and a woodblock that hits just before it. And then you have a fill, moving into the chorus, that's when the chorus starts. I double the tambourines, I double the woodblocks, and I also have this interesting shaker come in. And the shaker is a lot of fun because this is one of the few sound effects I recorded myself. And it's something I want to do more often, but I can show you what it sounds like with no effects on it. And that is the sound of me taking a chain necklace and tossing it into the palm of my hand. But with effects, it sounds pretty good. So after the chorus, I just go back into a verse here and I strip away all the extra stuff. But as it goes on, I kind of try to build that atmosphere back up. So these are the harmonies that start just after the first 4 verses. And all together, the vocals sound like this.
I can take it. Grew on me more ways than one, but when we're naked, all those colors fade to one.
Something I was really worried about with this section is that it would get a little boring. So all I did to address that was add this little melody that we hear once in the song and never again. I did end up doubling a couple samples up here. I have this triangle sample and a MIDI bell that Ableton comes with, just to get the sound I was looking for. And after all that, it takes us finally to the second chorus. This is where all the sounds we've already heard come together in this big symphony of melodies and vocal chops and harmonies. So we have all the vocals from the previous chorus here. And I double that up with the previous 8 verses that we just listened to.
Tell me just the same as
And of course the vocal chops, which I added an extra harmony to. And all together, it sounds like this. Alright, so, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I know it's very self-indulgent to just be like, look at all the stuff I did, look how much work went into it, but if you produce music yourself, then maybe you can take some inspiration from this, or maybe you can learn what not to do if you hated this song. But either way, since you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you next time.